because I am a big fan of this team and I will never root against them, but also a new hero. We've seen that all of these new heroes just they disrupt the flow of the game. Every time a new hero is introduced, everyone's just like, what's happening? We saw it with the Shaman, we saw it with the Clinks, we saw it with the Pudge. I mean, they've lost a lot of games, but I believe. I'm a believer.
Not biased at all. I'm gonna go with Fudge. I think LGD has a higher chance of snowballing and taking over the game, so I'm gonna go with LGD here. I think Shadow Fiend and Luna are gonna shred towers. So yeah, let's go with LGD.
All right, I'm going for the Viper. I'm going for RNG.
You went for the same team.
You said you were biased. You literally said you were biased.
Yes, but I
never root against LGD. That's what
anyway, the game is starting.
No, I like their draft.
Well, the game is starting, so turn up your volumes. We got B Cup on the mic, and now put it on mute because it's Mo Farah doing the analysis. Take it away, boys.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Mo.
That's all right.
Endearing, right? Still endearing,
Yeah,
Opium? Very endearing.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But I told you though, it's the, you know, it's just showing affection really. He just doesn't know how to show it, so
30 seconds to battle.
it's fine. I'm really excited for this game. Who doesn't love watching a good Shadow Fiend game though, you know? It's going to be very exciting. I'm a little bit worried for the laning stage for them. Nothing to say gets the ward at level 1. GG, game's over.
Yep.
Go next.
Go next, so we don't have to do 60, 70 minutes like was said on the panel. I don't know why people say those things. Don't do that. I've got a good streak of 2 weeks of non-100+ minute game. So please.
I really hope we get a good long game though, right? Because we haven't had any of them yet.
We had a 57-ish minute
yeah,
game.
but that's not a long game.
No. When you've come from 108 minutes and 109 minutes, it's certainly not a long game at all. In the grand scheme of it all.
Viper gets the return D ward mid as well, so both mid heroes here without an observer ward, which I don't know who that favors more, honestly. I guess SF likes having the vision for the razors, but yeah, I'm not sure. I've been trying to practice a lot more mid in my pubs recently to try and understand the role more, right, and just do something different.
Right.
And it's so stressful. Oh my god. Just stick to support, honestly. I don't even have to think about some of the things that mid laners do. It feels great. What is this?
This back and forth going bottom.
That was so bizarre.
Just a little 1v1 happening.
I love that neither of them even moved. You know, like sometimes they hit each other and they move around like this, right? They just stood still. We're just hitting each other.
Probably both took their hands off the mouse and keyboard, because why not? You talk about how you were trying to practice your mid. Hold on. Beyond, he's low, but so is Red Panda. To get back at you, I'm picking 3 techies, and I was just like, all right, well, this is a joy.
So, Red Panda has no regen to work in this lane at the moment. He's bringing a salve and a set of tangos out, but it's only just left the base. So it's going to be a long time before he can really be effective in this lane. And I don't know if you noticed, but Faithian on the Tidehunter has gone for the Helm of Iron Will first. So he's going for this Helm of Dom build, which is really interesting. It'd be cool to see what Faithian can do, because he can be a very flashy player, right? So he's able to make these cool plays of like Centaur creeps and whatever. Could be really fun. This Arc Warden is not getting a lot of farm either up in this top lane. He's struggling.
I think not.
He's only got 8 CS at the moment. Bottom lane though, flyby. Down to about a 3rd health here. They catch the Hex out onto the Windrunner. They've got a Loosen Beam in a second. And then an Earth Spike to follow it up. Timber Chain across. And use of that stick. Good movement into the trees. Power shot. Now more harassment coming out on a flyby. Nobody dying, but They are not too starved for regen.
I like that by LGD though. They want to try and pressure before the Timber hits level 3, which is the big power spike in the lane, right? So they can at least make the most of the advantage there. Would be huge. I think Lion, assuming this is going to try and pull here. Yeah, he is.
And he got it. All right. And the X to follow that up on the Windrunner. Earth Spike, losing beam, but the Windrun from Felix able to walk it away.
And you have to remember at this point in the game, the Timber's damage output isn't that high. He's only got Timber Chain level 1. I think he's gone 0-1-2, right? So yeah, they don't really have the greatest turnaround potential at the moment when the Wind Ranger has to run away. So they're playing their limits really well down here.
I'm waiting to see if God King, what kind of Arc Warden player is he? And I think you know what I mean, Mo. Is he one that?
Tell me.
Is he one where the main Arc Warden's heat map is just in the base, or is he more of a I play with both Arc
You're
Wardens
the
kind
expert.
of player?
I don't know why you're asking me.
Well, no, I gotta. It was Southeast Asia that I saw those 110+ minute games. Actually, no, I think one of them was China. I don't remember. It's all a blur. We'll have to see.
Oh, Red Panda.
In a lot of trouble. 3 stacks, 4 stacks of Shadow Poison. Jinkyu will land a 5th, and there's first blood.
We've seen Jinkyu play this hero quite a few times now, and he does get relatively greedy, right? I've seen him stack these big camps and stuff a lot in the top jungle when he's playing Radiant.
Right.
And yeah, it'd be interesting to see like how much farm he can get this game, because I feel like it's a great Shadow Demon game if he can get it. The break is fantastic on the Axe against the Viper and the Timber.
Deep ward placed by Felix over here in the jungle.
It's Red Panda level 3 diving the tier 1 mid.
Looking at you from behind the trees. Here he comes. Jinkyu, though, comes back into the lane. They've got Felix coming over. Red Panda can't really do a lot with that, but D-Stone's diving the tier 1. Okay.
Yeah, they want to force the tower with the catapult wave. This is really cool.
And Red Panda's still peeking. I love this little line right here. And just seeing Red Panda going, you guys over there? Double damage for D-Stones. That's going to get bottled up, and they're going to smoke and head towards top.
So they're going for Faith BN. Interesting. He has the Helm of Dom creep with the Satyr Blast as well, so if he can scout here, potentially with the creep while he's hiding, I think, yeah, they know. They've scanned as well. What a move by Faith BN.
Oh, power shot back, and now the Viper Strike Shackle comes in.
Wow.
Whether or not he knows about it, he's not going to survive with a double damage.
I was really surprised he didn't just TP away, because they even hit the scan and they knew, right?
I think he might have just been worried about getting hit with the Shackle regardless. I have no idea. And now that he didn't TP out, he's 10 seconds away from being able to TP back to lane. Does that make sense?
You know,
nothing to say.
Just say.
Getting blown up here. This double damage doing a lot for D-Stones.
Yeah, he just accepts his fate, unfortunately, on the SF. He knows he's going to die. So Tide, can I get a Hellbear Smasher? It looks like in the top lane. Easy Helm of Dom creep. I'm surprised they haven't tried to rotate more towards his top lane and help deal with the Arc, but because it feels like RNG are the ones that are making the moves at the moment, right? Mm-hmm. But this Luna's having a good time bot. She's just left because Timber's hit that, you know, really difficult
Annoying
point in the laning stage to deal with.
Yeah.
He's going to have that hood relatively soon.
Radiant's bottom tower.
We'll say, and now that they got Ami to move back into the jungle, they do have the ward that he's sitting right on top of. And I think he'll recognize that immediately after getting pushed out of that area.
Yeah, he'll know that something's up there with the vision. Oh, Innocence gets seen in the trees. Flyby's like, oh my god, there's another hero here. Let me run at him.
Felix and D-Stones down towards bottom once again. I don't even think they're going to be needed. Innocence getting run down here, and eventually the shackle will hit, but not Lash. Hex, Innocence buying time. Oh, over here now. And Jet.
That's pretty good for him, though. He gets a lot of XP off the creeps on the wave that are dying to the tower. So, like, yeah, it's not a great death, but he's just leeching that
Radiant's
slow
bottom tower
XP.
is under attack.
There's not a huge amount of space this game that he wants to be
Radiant
playing in.
structures are fortified. Dire's top tower.
It'd be interesting to see if the Timber TPs to the top lane here after they take the tier 1.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And not the quickest take here for Faith Beyond, who's got the Helm and the Dominator. He's got his boots. We'll see what he goes for next. Tower finally falls over bottom. They finally get the +1 of Ame, and there's the glyph, making me think that they want to defend it. But with these two heroes here, I'm not sure they would make the commitment.
Yeah, the glyph doesn't mean anything. You get it for free, so you might as well just use it anyway, even if you're not defending the tower.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Oh, cool Purge Creep. It's pretty good against the Brew and the Wind Ranger. We've seen God King play Arc Warden once this tournament already, I think, haven't we?
I think it was the only other Arc Warden
Dire's
game.
courier has been killed.
Ooh. Gets the Tranquils. Easy for Innocence. He's actually almost level 6 already before the 10-minute mark, so he's doing okay. Jinkyu obviously going to be taking that tome. You see, I think he had Meteor Hammer queued up there on Jinkyu. On the Shadow Demon. That's, sure. Why not? Disruption into Meteor Hammer? I haven't seen that before.
By the way, the last time God King went on this Arc Warden, it was Midas at 8 minutes, Gleipnir at 20, Scotty at 25, Hex at 29, and Blink at 30.
I think last game was a bit different. Okay, weren't they against something in particular that he needed those items for?
He was up against Morphling, Axe, and Luna.
The Morphling, that was it. They got enough damage here.
I'm not sure, but with the Requiem needing a couple shots, Shackle comes in and Flyby able to survive. And now they're going to get the kill on the Innocence, so it's the Requiem that, and a bit of health that's just not enough.
It looked like he mistimed the Requiem slightly as well, so it wasn't like the perfect damage on the way down. Timber got to step to the side a little bit. If he timed it potentially a little bit better, then he might have ground the kill, but
Dire's
those small
middle
things
tower
matter.
is under attack.
Difficult to say.
Is it difficult to say, or is there nothing to say? A good split. They'll get the stun out onto Ame, and they will control him up to get the kill. God King getting credit for that one. He's close to this Maelstrom.
That was a nice split because he used it before the TP even went off from the Luna. So like he knew it was coming, right? It's the only way the Luna gets out. Especially because they can just TP to the outpost if they want to.
He's still farming quite well on this Luna, despite dying there just now.
Yeah, but they did take that big ancient step, right? And the fact that he's not top of net worth after that is a little bit disappointing for him. I know Tide got some of the net worth as well, so it's not the biggest deal, but I also think I saw a Witchblade first on Viper, which is cool.
Yeah. And he's got another double damage.
Of course he does. Arcane DD. Good stuff. The Viper auto attacks with the Witchblade look so weird, especially with the animation thing as well.
From the Battle Pass.
Yeah, from the Battle Pass, yeah.
Yeah.
But D-Stone seems to have settled into this like farming Viper game so far. Be interesting to see when he, gets involved.
Ooh, Ravage coming through, and D-Stone getting low. I'm not sure it's going to be enough for Felix sitting over on the side. They're going to come to peek beyond. They'll end up trading D-Stones for it. Requiem down, and now they've got the Fear on the Red Panda with the Earth Spike hitting to get the cone of the Brew.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yules on flyby, Timber Chain deep. Ame with the stun with the Lucent Beam. Doesn't get hit by the Chakram, sidestepping this Timber, who's in pretty far now. Lucent Beam, the raise is out. They get the stun, they'll get the kill.
Wow. What a play by Ame. They sidesteps the power shot, then dukes the Chakram. Timber Chain misses him, and then all of a sudden Timber's just under the tier 2 tower with, 4 heroes with their spells back up again. So, really well played. It looked like the Viper wasn't dying though for a second, which is a bit worrying.
And then he had the help from Felix with the Javelin in his hands too, and it looked like they might be able to turn it around. Take a look at it again. Ravage comes out, the controls there on the Tempest double, finger, everything getting thrown at D-Stones, and he's still kind of standing his ground. Enough so where they get a kill on the Tide. This is a good Requiem.
Though. I mean, the Requiem's the thing in the first place that stops Ame from dying. And great destruction as well by the SD. Just keeping Ame alive. He's not playing Punch, but, still a very important.
Shackle doesn't latch, but they've got the Primal Split. The ult from Felix, the damage, it's there, and they'll get the kill on Ame.
My bad. Sorry, Ame.
Yeah, that is Caster's Curse if I've ever heard it.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are
Great invasion though by RNG. They get the mid tier 1 here as well. They're going to be feeling really good about that. Especially after that teamfight mid a second ago.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Atheon blinking forward, not like he's got Ravage. Down for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, but they don't know that. Maybe they didn't time it,
I think I respect RNG more than that than to not know the timing.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think that is something that the best teams do, though, right?
To do.
Not that it's still struggle to do, but it's something like the Roche timing. You have to get into a habit of doing it, right?
Right.
Like there's some people I've seen before that they'll write the times of the spells in chat so that they know exactly when it's up again next time.
I know I always ping the clock when I can.
I'm really bad at remembering that, like the Roche timing stuff as well in particular.
I want to know if Jinkyu's actually going to get this Meteor Hammer off on a hero.
I mean, he should do, right? They don't have a huge amount of stuns on RNG, so there's not a massive amount to stop him.
Radiant
it's like Shackle,
are fortified.
Or he just dies before the hammer goes off.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bye might be in trouble.
Great positioning from the SF and the Shadow Demon, though. Innocence is just in, though.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, certainly a bit far, but they're still going to get the tier 1 tower, and now they'll retreat off of it.
I'm surprised he didn't get punished for that. Oh, they're just going to walk into Roche with a DD? Wow, okay. What a great timing on that DD.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like you said, always there when you need it.
Oh, you're going to do Roche? DD.
It dies so quickly as well. They have like the SF aura, they've got the DD on the Luna, there's Gush.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
I think the power shot almost killed that. It was close.
Radiant get credit for the kill and get the Aegis into the hands of Ame. Arc Warden going Gleipnir. So, looking for it.
Wow, okay. As we all know, though, God King doesn't do the, he doesn't like the normal set of item builds. We saw Daedalus on Doom earlier. And, so Gleipnir on Arc Warden doesn't feel as wild.
He's always one to innovate, that's for sure. God King Sanjin Yasha always a topic of conversation.
A lot of gold.
Tempest double getting killed. 240 gold going the way of Ame, and that was the difference between I think this game and the last game. He only gave up like a handful of Tempest doubles, so keep an eye on that.
Seen the Tide speed creepers following the Luna around as well. Very valuable.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ame moving in onto this tier 2 top. Picks up that BKB, so there should be a lot of confidence for LGD at the moment, having that Aegis, having that BKB, pressuring this top tier 2. They're gonna bring over the actual Arc Warden and TPing these heroes right into the LGD side. I'm a little surprised that they were willing to do that. They've got the Ravage that comes in onto 2. They'll take out Felix. They'll end up losing Innocence with the Eclipse being popped by Ame and the BKB. They'll focus their attention on the D-Stones who's trying to run away. God King and his Tempest Double stand their ground, and LGD don't want to go any further, especially into the dome. And now the turnaround comes from RNG. Coming around the back is going to be Red Panda. They've also got themselves this Timber. They'll take the Aegis out of the hands of Ame. They use the Requiem. It's just not enough yet from LGD. Chakram thrown back. God King right clicking. Might take out Ame for the second time. They finish off this Luna. Now they're going to go after Faith Beyond. They've got this output of damage. It's just too much for LGD. And Faith Beyond trying to stand his ground as they get the disruption now. That's through on a Red Panda who's quite low. Raise hits from nothing to say. He's walking off to the side behind Roach Pit, but Faith Beyond gets chased down by God King as well as Flyby.
I can't believe the Viper survived originally in the first place, though. They're all so low on RNG. The fact that they were able to just TP in and take that fight, I mean, the Wind Ranger dies straight away, but really good magnetic field from God King keeps the Viper alive. They managed to get through the 2 lives of Luna, so yeah, really impressive.
I'm really not quite sure how they pulled that off. Such a split fight, but it felt like everything from LGD was used pretty early on.
Yeah, and you have to remember Jinky wasn't in the fight either. He turned up really late because he was like, Jinky's like 1v1ing the Timber separately in the mid lane. Like here, I thought D-Sense was for sure dead, but then one magnetic field comes out, keeps him alive a little bit. Second magnetic field comes out.
Game's starting to feel pretty much even. In the 5, not exactly the bloodbath we've had prior to this game.
I mean, going into the late game, you have to favor the Arc Warden team, right? In RNG. Pretty good matchup against the Luna as well. You get that Skadi eventually. Obviously, the clone's really horrible to deal with.
BKB, Requiem. Again, the timing's a little bit off, but they'll still get the kill on a Red Panda. And with that, nothing to say. Grabbing only his 2nd kill of the game. He's trying to get into the Blink Dagger.
Maybe he only knows the timings of the Arcane Blink one. Because he's usually so good at SF and he's so rich all the time that this peasant normal Blink.
This doesn't do it for him.
No. Ooh, Phoenix is hanging around here.
Oh. Tempest double. And now they've got the Shackle. Nothing to say. In some trouble. They've got Tide blowing the Ravage out on a 3, but Faith Beyond, he is getting quite low and will end up just dead. They'll use the Eclipse with the BKB pop by D-Stones Flyby. It's a 1-for-1 trade on all players so far, but here comes God King. There's the Gleipnir. They've got the break, and the BKB gets popped by Ame. Oh, Centaur creeps, stunning up D-Stones. Innocence there with the follow-up burst spike. They've got the raises. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. Power shot, Shackle, all locking down. Nothing to say. They've got themselves a primal split that comes down. They get the kill on Innocence. They'll turn and look for nothing to say with the BKB pop by the Shadow Fiend. Gleipnir once again coming out from God King. He's got the help of the Tempest double. They'll get the kill on Ame, and Jinkyu now needs to run. The primal split. They'll throw the stun, and Jinkyu is in a real bad spot. Disruption, surrounded, and eventually should end up dead and will fall as the Spirit Vessel's placed on him. But coming around the side is going to be nothing to say as he gets the kill on Felix, and now Red Panda needs to run. God King will TP out.
I mean, the biggest thing here is that they're not dealing with the Arc Warden, right? Ame dies again. God King stays alive. He's got that Gleipnir halfway to the Skadi already. And game feels really good for RNG. Like, this Arc Warden's kind of not being touched at all. Nice play from Faith Beyond, though. Even when he dies, has that Centaur creep available in the fights. Gets him the Viper kill.
Radiant's
He's actually getting Refresher before Arcane Blink on the SF.
Interesting.
That's pretty good, though. It's not just the double ult, it's the double BKB as well. So you have 12 seconds of magic immunity instead of 6.
The difference that I'm seeing between this kind of Arc Warden game, again, it's when I said God King did in the previous Arc Warden game, than the ones that took 110 minutes, is that he plays with both Arc Wardens. He's not afraid to get in there and fight.
If you want to maximize the hero, then that's what you need to do. The high risk, high reward plays, right?
Yeah, and it was a lot of players that didn't really look comfortable on the hero, that were put in a position to play the hero, that only played with the Tempest double, and not confident enough to go with both. Yeah,
but it's just different interpretations of how to use the hero, right?
Yeah. But
not that one's right or wrong, but
every time it ended up losing. So the process in my mind with Black was that if you're only using 50% of the hero like that, you're not going to win a game.
Yeah, for sure.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I get that line of thought.
Yules, BKB, as well as the Requiem right on a Red Panda. They'll get the kill. Nothing to say now on a mega kill streak. Disruption, Meteor, Hammer comes down onto the Tempest double, but they've got the Shackle as well as the Gleipnir, and the Tempest double might be able to get the kill on a Jingyu. He needs to run. And they'll take care of the Tempest double to get right in front of Felix. Body blocks from Faith Beyond are well placed, and Ame gets credit for that one on the Windrunner.
Yeah, good attempt by Innocence as well. Tries to see if anybody's TPing, just throws out a random stun. Knows the Wind Ranger's dead, so might as well try and find a +1. Yeah, a good couple of kills, but again, Arc Warden's still just free farming away. Kind of, this is over. No. Looming issue, almost, is that the word? They're not really dealing with it at the moment, and you can't help but feel it's going to come back to bite them.
Right.
Like, they have really good 5-on-5 team fight and everything, but God King's kind of just playing his own game right now.
He's getting involved when he wants to. And he's free to do that. Now picking up that Scotty, so he's at about the same timings as he was in that previous game too. Almost exactly on point with them. This time he's going into the BKB. Last time he went for Hex.
Yeah, I think the BKB's much better this game though, right? Against the Eclipse, against the Ravage, against the Requiem.
Right.
There's so much more magic burst to worry about here, so BKB an essential.
You know, it's almost finished here for the Luna. Only 1,000 gold away. Just picking up that Demon Edge. Nothing to say. Still queued up on that refresher. Will pick up his first Perseverance. Tempest double comes in through mid. They're still smoked up on RNG.
Well, they see the ward.
Faith Beyond, Blink, Pipe, Helm. 1,300, about 1,400 gold. Wondering if he goes for a refresher and he'll switch up to the BKBQ. We haven't really spoken about D-Stones in a little bit, and he's going for the Scotty too.
Yeah, it's a very good Scotty game.
The Dragonlance with the BKB. Nothing to say, going in, BKB, looking for the Requiem, and they're going to try and blow up Red Panda, but he gets into the trees. One last race for Nothing to Say will make him unstoppable. And Shadow Fiend now 6-1-3, and again, not focusing on what the inevitable is going to be. In God King, they do get another kill in the Brew.
I think 5 of those kills have probably been the Brewmaster though. And like you say, God King's still just farming away, so...
Did you get the Daedalus though on Ame?
That's really good, especially when second Roach is about to spawn, meaning you know there's going to be a big fight that's going to kick off around this. They have the Helm Creep in the pit, sorry, so they know the Roach is up. They probably want to wait for this Requiem to be up before they force the issue.
They already have the shard on the Luna. Would it be worth getting the shard and picking it up and throwing it on Nothing to Say, or is there somebody else that you think should take advantage of it? They've got one on Shadow Demon and Luna if the LGD were to get it.
The Lion one's pretty good, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stand still and cast Mana Drain at any point this game. So, is it valuable? It does make him spell immune though, which is huge.
It's Cobalt Foreman.
That's really good, isn't it?
Well, now
Is that the clone? Yeah.
tell LGD that they're aware of RNG being near the pit.
There's an orb of destruction on the Luna as well, so
They're gonna go for
with the
this,
Daedalus.
and it doesn't look like LGD are reacting.
I don't think they.
Not nearly in time. They should know about this. They had the Kobo in the pit, but they're just going to give up the Aegis, and now there's a shard on Viper.
That's really unfortunate because the SF just picks up the refresher, so they're like, yeah, guys, let's wait for this Roche fight until I have refresher. They get it, and the Roche dies at the same time. They've like missed their timings by like 15 seconds.
Thought about maybe fighting, going for the high ground. They've got the hook here. Now they've actually singled out Ame for a second. The Ravage comes in, but it's going to be a little bit off to the side with the BKBs being popped around the horn. They've got the refresher now popped by Shadow Fiend. Eclipse gets used, doesn't do anything. And now Ame takes too much damage and falls to Felix. So sloppy from LGD. And now RNG, they win a fight right by the tier 2. They're going to at least take that over mid. Let's see if they try to push the high ground with Luna not having buyback and dead for another 55 seconds.
And that's the problem with SF, right? They get the kill on that Broom Blaster before, though. And without the ult, he feels like he just doesn't want to do anything. Like, he's not the same hero, right? Without ult, so...
Oh, Tide, Silence, taking a lot of damage, and they go to the Requiem once again. They get the kill on the D-Stones, though. Both the Viper, Innocence, he's getting a little bit low. The Tide surviving it all, and Flyby needs the damage chain out. Oh man, Lion dead for 73 seconds. They're gonna go in onto the Shadow Fiend. They've got the BKB being popped by the Tempest Double. They get the kill and nothing to say. Flyby still sitting low with a magnetic field, keeping RNG safe. Thank you.
Radiant's middle
Only
tower
sit here between the tier 4s and watch.
is under attack.
Luna back up in 10, but it looks as though
God King's just in.
they're gonna lose Tide. Oh, Faith Beyond. Disruption, Anchor Smash, not gonna matter. He ends up dead, but he sacrificed his life to hold the rats.
Yeah, I mean...
I guess that's the case.
You could argue if it's worth it. Maybe, but... Yeah. You can see the SF just goes in. They managed to find the D-Stones Viper straight away, right? But... that hero without BKB and ult it honestly feels like a range creep. Like, you can't enter fights. And this is why I really hate magic damage SF in like pubs and stuff all the time as well. Is that it feels like you can only ever play around that ult, which is why when you get the Arcane Blink, the game's completely different because... And Refresh is kind of similar, right? Because then you have 2 ults to work with and your heroes...
Time to farm that. A lot of the farm going the way of Ame, and Shadow Fiend, he's right there with him, but can he keep it up now that they're down 10,000 net worth?
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? They get the do. Oh, it's no do. It's a sentry. Okay. They're looking again. I mean,
Okay,
Ame's had a really
Ame.
tough time. But
Oh
if this-
boy.
Yeah, if he dies again,
A short buyback 900 gold, it would be pretty devastating and potentially game losing. It'd be the Shadow Fiend.
oh, Red Panda sees him. They know there's probably a ward on the high ground though, so they're a bit hesitant to push up because they don't know where the rest of LGD are. You know, the SF could just be standing there baiting for the rest of his team.
Radiant's top tower.
Love this Viper shard, by the way. Really cool.
Radiant's
I'm a
top
big fan
tower
of it.
is under attack.
It's the old talent at level 25, right? Oh, here we go.
Ame coming around the back. They've got the Hex onto the Timber. Now they're going to get the Requiem off. Eclipse used. They'll take a 5 to start this off. And now they'll look over as the Promise was going to be used here by Red Panda. Felix popping the BKB and going to try and put damage out on Ame. But Ame's just got too much damage. BKB gets popped by D-Stones. He's going to go the other way with God King moving forward. But there's Ravage coming out from Faith Beyond. They've got the follow-up first spike. Do they have the damage to get the kill on the God King? That's to get his first life. Tempest Double trying to fight away on the Ame. It's going to be enough. They've got the Disruption Save coming up from Jinkyu. They have the break with another toxin down the right. Quick damage on the God King. He's only got his second life to work with. God King low. God King running. God King escaping. Faith Beyond dying. They look over now at the Tempest Double. They'll at least get that. And Red Panda still trying to move in with the Cinder Boot thrown down on the Innocence. Ame as well as nothing to say. Innocence giving up his life. Potential for the greater good as they go after D-Stones. They've got the raises, but the damage is there to get the kill on nothing to say before he ends up dying himself on D-Stones. Triple kill for this Viper. 3 heroes dead on both sides. They've taken the Aegis out of the hands of God King.
Balance the scale.
Yeah, great initiation. They find the Timber, kill him off straight away. The one that surprised me that got away was Red Panda, but 2 of his broodlings died almost straight away, and then there was just this little Storm Panda running around, which meant that because they didn't finish off the Storm Panda, he comes back on his main hero as well and allows them to help finish off the SF. Great fight though. I mean, they finally. It looks like they're gonna kill God King, right? And you're like, oh my god, this is it. This is the moment in the game. And he just casually walks away.
50
on like
health.
1 HP.
Yeah. Ags though for the Shadow Demon. That's gonna be 3 demonic purges. Could be massive in these fights.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier on in the game, the Ags is huge. For this Viper and the Timber, obviously the break is really good against both of them, even the Wind Ranger as well. Basically becomes this like range creep that attacks really quickly because you can just kill her off so quickly without the Wind Run being available.
Shackle
off constantly.
Ame running. And now they got Jinkyu over. Bloodthorn picked up by God King too. Shadow Fiend dead this entire time. He had picked up a lot of gold going towards this Arcane Blink. Oh man, he's just still 2,300 gold away from it.
God King has Bloodthorn, but he has no buyback here. So
they play it safe until the next Roche. It's up in potentially 2 minutes.
He has BOTs level 2 as well. Did you see that?
Yeah.
God.
Oh boy. Red Panda, how much is he gonna give up here? He might just be beating him. They land the shackle on both supports. It's gonna be on to Jinkyu, who's in a lot of trouble. He just got that axe. He wants to survive with the BKB being bought by Ame. Flyby moving in with the flamethrower. Jinkyu trying to throw out the ult as quickly as he can, but they get the kill on Ame. He's gonna be dead for 90 seconds. No buyback. Oh dear. Caught without buyback. Caught 1,200 gold short. There's a BKB available now on the tie, but it's going to be Tide and Shadow Fiend up against the world.
Did they not know that Brew had Red A on this? I'm pretty sure he's had it for a while, right?
Radiant's bottom tower has
They went on him like he didn't.
Because he's always got the axe. Yeah, he's just finished it.
Radiant's
He must have had the A on disc for a long
bottom
time. And a great shackle though.
Hits both
supports together. Yeah, and the thing is, it's not just the line that they kill, it's the fact that it shackles it to the Shadow Demon in the back as well. So these really important ults that we've been talking about just didn't come out until the end of the fight.
Radiant's middle
This might be mega creeps. Should be mega creeps. Question is, does RNG back off before the tier 3, thinking that they should just go back for Roche? However, that's not going to happen for 37 seconds, so they can stay here and force something, but now they're going to go in with the Requiem. They look over at Red Panda. They should be able to get the kill, at least on to 1. The silence hits on Innocence. Timber chain across with the Tempest double doing the damage out on the face beyond. He's trying to get away. He's inside the magnetic field. He throws out the Ravage, but will they have the damage? They've got no Luna for another 20 seconds with the BKB being popped by. Nothing to say. They get the kill on the face beyond. Flyby's going to force back. Nothing to say. His BKB is running out in just a second. They've got the Rack still standing, so no mega creeps for now, but the Tempest double comes in with the reckless damage coming out from the Viper as well onto these Racks. They'll take out the Racks up top, and it will be mega creeps confirmed. Still no GG call from LGD just yet, though. Satanic finished off for God King, and he's going to feel that much stronger, especially with the advantage of mega creeps. Disruption out. Flyby trying to Timber chain away. It's a disruption onto the Tempest double, and only 300 gold going the way of LGD after this entire exchange.
RNG been getting stronger and stronger so far this tournament, and they can take down probably, I would argue, the pre-tournament favourites potentially before this.
Roche in 2 minutes. We'll see if we even get there, and now we got to worry about Shadow Fiend getting to, well, LGD need to worry about Shadow Fiend getting to this Arcane Blink. He's just 500 gold off of it. Doesn't have a refresher for 95 seconds, though. They're coming up into the high ground once again. They've got the Bloodthorn, the damage out onto Innocence. Flamethrower now looking for the shackle with the BKB being forced. Ame forced to TP out, looting RNG, but they do lose this support once again in Innocence.
Has been killed.
Oh no, the Arcane Blink gets taken out.
Oh no. What a disaster. Minotaur by Jinkyu.
Middle tower is under attack.
This Viper's attack range is wild.
Yep. No Ravage Savage for 37 seconds. I'm not sure how they're going to fight this. They're going to lose their tier 4s. The Ann just gets popped on this Timber. They're going to go to the Primal Split immediately, and he's got himself that Axe, and Felix is going to pop that BKB, go after Ame. Ame trying to run, but the BKB's on cooldown. They've got the Disruption to try and save him, but he has got no chance in surviving. He'll throw down the Eclipse. It's not going to be enough, and now they'll look towards the back. They've got themselves the Rec Room. They get the counter field. They look over Flyby. He's going to be broken here by the Demonic Burst, coming up with the Shadow Demon, but the damage on nothing to say. They'll get the kill on nothing to say. They'll take out Flyby. GG's going to be called by LGD, and RNG will take game 1.